Hi everyone, welcome to this new video where I will show you how to implement a transactional Kafka writer with the foreach sync in Apache Spark Structured Streaming. So in this demo I will have two different codes. The first code is the non-transactional producer that, as you can see here, will consume some data from one input topic and later will do a kind of fake transformation just to simulate a failure. And in my processing logic, in this fake processing logic, I will stop at this condition. So it's set correctly to true. And if it happens, I will trigger a runtime exception just to stop the micro batch in the middle of the execution. And I will have another writer, which will be the transactional writer based on the foreach sync. And here the logic is exactly the same because, as you can see here, I will trigger a runtime exception when this condition will be true. And the idea is the same, so is to show you what happens when the writer fails in the middle of execution. But the difference with the previous code is that here we will use the Kafka transactional producer. And for the data generation, it's also very straightforward. We will generate some alphabet letters and send them to the input topic by pushing the enter button on the keyboard. So to start to do this demonstration, I will begin by starting the Kafka Docker by starting my broker, and now I can start the data generator. So as you can see, the data generator creates all three topics I need for this demo and also generates some input data when I will push the enter button. And I will start by the transactional producer. So I will run the code. Okay. And I will start by producing some records. And as you can see, it's correctly generating the data to the Kafka topic. Yes. And now I will produce the failing batch. So normally the producer should fail with this runtime exception. So now I will change the flag just to make this producer pass, and we will see later, after processing all data, we will see later the content. We will analyze the content of the output topic. So let me restart this producer, and as you can see, the letter is correctly processed, and I will terminate with this execution. Now it's time to see what is the content of the brokers. So I will take this command and execute it and copy the output to some text editor. And do we have one letter every time? So it's correct for B. And as you can see, all letters were generated only once. How it's possible? So the first reason for that is that we are using Kafka transactions. So whenever something bad happens and this close method is called with an exception, we will simply abort the transaction and close the producer. When the microbatch executes correctly, we will commit the transaction and expose these records to the consumers. But managing transactions couldn't be possible without an extra transaction storage. simply because the transactions are distributed and the task executions in Apache Spark is not synchronized, which means that the one task can terminate before another, and hence it can commit the transaction. And without this extra commit storage, if we replayed the failed microbatch and some of the tasks succeeded, we would regenerate this. We would generate the duplicated data to the output topic. So that's the reason why I created a local, but of course in a distributed world it should be a distributed storage. I created a local storage using mapdb that expose a method to commit the transaction, so to mark given microbatch, which is here called epoch, confirmed and correctly processed for every partition, so for every task. And by doing that, I'm ensured that whenever I replay the whole microbatch, all already processed transactions will be skipped, simply because of this verification. So as you can see, if you check the API of the foreachSync, you will see that if the method returns false, the processing will be simply skipped. And that's globally the whole idea of transactional Kafka producers inside the foreachSync. And to show you the difference with the default data sync, Kafka data sync, I will run the non-transactional application and show you later what is the content of the topic. So I will start again the data generator that will recreate all topics and that will re-ingest, and we will re-ingest all input data. And just check if it's true. It should be. And now I will start the non-transactional producer. So I will start by generating the first microbatch of data. Let's do the second one. And now the one that should fail. And that's failed as we expected. So I will put back the false flag here and restart the processing. Okay. And I will generate the last microbatch and terminate the producer. And now I will also terminate the non-transactional producer. And let me see what is the content of the non-transactional topic this time. So I can stop this and restart. I will copy the output and show you the content. So it's the non-transactional output, and for the first two microbatches we should see the correct outcome, but as you can see already for the third microbatch we have the duplicates, of course, except for the letter K. And globally, that's the difference between my foreachSync with custom Apache Kafka producer supporting transactions and the default Apache Kafka sync working in normal microbatch mode without the transactions. So this demonstration is a part of one blog post which is linked in the description of this video, and if you want to know more about this topic, this transactional topic, feel free to take a look. It was Bartosz Konieczny from waitingforcode.com. Thanks for watching.